Hi, this is Mr. McConley for BKW Intro to Agriculture, and today we're going to take another look at chickens and talk about something very specific, which is pecking, or the pecking order. So you've heard the terminology, the pecking order. So people that are higher up in the pecking order are more in control. Well, this terminology comes from chickens, and what chickens do, although it's a little disturbing and frustrating at times, is they show their dominance by pecking the weaker, the more vulnerable chickens. And so we're just going to tell you a little bit about things we've tried and then mention some other things that we haven't tried but that are possibilities. So if we look at some different chickens, there's one outside here that is a good example of a chicken that's been picked on a lot and pecked. And the reason it's outside right now is we're letting it recover, because it was actually pecked pretty badly on its rear side and was actually bleeding. And when chickens start to get pecked to the point where they're bleeding, then the other chickens almost become like cannibals, and they'll actually try to kill the bleeding chicken. It's in their nature to do that. And it is disturbing, but it's the truth of what chickens do. Now, one of the things we've learned is that if chickens don't have enough space, if they're overcrowded, they tend to exaggerate the behavior of pecking to maybe give themselves more space or whatever. And so by giving them more space, they tend to peck each other less. Also, the run that we talked about in a previous video, it's important to have that run, so if one is getting bothered or pecked, it can run away and give itself some space. So I'm going to take the camera, and Farmer Andrew's going to talk about some other helpful things. So what do you got there in your hand?
This was a bottle I got a while ago. I think I don't remember the brand, but it just smells really bad.
Okay.
I can still smell it, and it's empty, but
and what do you do with that?
you put it on where they got pecked, and I think it tastes really bad, so if a chicken pecks them again, they'll be like, yuck, it tastes bad.
Okay, good. What other things have you heard about that you can do?
There was another sort of medical powder cream like this, and I can't remember what it was called, but that works too. Like it had a strong smell and taste.
Okay, same concept.
Yeah,
then.
So anything like that works. I've heard a red light will work.
Okay.
So they all look the same. I think that might work.
And in fact, talk about when you bring the young chicks out, or you have some chickens that are getting picked on and pecked. Talk about the technique you used with perfume that you learned from the college professor at SUNY.
Yeah, so if they all smell the same, they're not that smart, so they'll think they already knew the chickens. So when I bring them out, I spray them all with perfume, and then it sometimes helps, and they think they're already friends or something. I don't know.
Does it matter what perfume you use? A certain
anything strong.
Okay, anything strong. All right, doesn't really matter then. How about some physical altercations? This is not popular with some people. However, other people do use this technique. Go ahead and tell us about that.
I've never done this, but some people just clip the end of the beak on the chicken. But I don't like to do that because it's hard for them to eat. And it does work, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like if all your chickens are having trouble eating, then I feel like, I don't know, it doesn't work. But it will work for like one or two of the worst ones, I would think.
Okay. And we've also maybe found that certain breeds seem to be more susceptible or just a little more passive, because when we look at our Isa Browns here, here's one that the feathers have been pecked away a little bit on the wing of this Isa Brown. We don't see that as much as on the Rhode Island Reds. So
I think they're a little bigger bird.
Yeah, little bigger, a little stronger.
Yep. But if you had all Rhode Island Reds, then the smallest Rhode Island Red would get picked on.
Yep. Yep, it's true.
So it doesn't really, you're probably going to have a pecking problem no matter what, but just how much space you have will help, definitely.
Well, they seem happy today and haven't witnessed any pecking, so everyone's spread out and having a nice day in the sunshine here. So for today, this has been Mr. McConley and BKW Intro to Agriculture.